Howdy, folks. I happened to catch a documentary on HBO called 4 Hours at the Capitol. Not once did they mention anybody, any of the protesters that died on January 6th, except for the clip that they showed of Ashley Babbitt. They showed the clip of the video where Roseanne Boylan was beat to death, but they never mentioned her name, didn't draw attention to it. It was very selective in the videos that they use. They make the crowd look violent, but completely negate to show that officers and people there instigating that violence. How do you think a crowd of people are going to react when officers start to tear gas people just standing there chanting and singing? How do you think they're going to react when they throw a crowd suppression ordinance, I don't know, like a concussion bomb or whatever they're called, concussion grenade, into a crowd of people standing there peacefully taking pictures? I'm pretty sure they knew that that crowd was going to become emotionally involved. See, the question is, at least in this matter, who started it? Because it wasn't an insurrection. I saw people reacting in self-defense. I saw people getting beat that were standing there. I was pepper sprayed for trying to help somebody that fell down. I just went over to pick them up, moving away from the line of police. I got smacked in the back of the head with a nightstick because I wasn't walking away fast enough, apparently. Probably had something to do with the fact that I was just recently pepper sprayed right before that. And when I got hit with the nightstick, I said, hey, I can't freaking see. I'm sure you guys have heard the several details that I've put out about my case, where I threw my body in between officers and an elderly man getting beaten with nightsticks. He was laying on the ground, bleeding from the head. He also got smacked in the side of the head again once he was able to get up and started to walk away. But I understand that officers are people too. Emotions become inflamed. I honestly don't even know what my point is. I watched that documentary today, and it brought back a lot of emotions. It evoked an emotional response within me that I actually didn't expect. But I see that documentary as more of a hit piece, more as propaganda than an actual documentary. In that documentary, they called the peaceful protesters insurrectionists, monsters, terrorists. There were a couple other monikers in which they gave them that I heard. They were coming from the mouths of politicians and the Capitol police officers. It's really disheartening. One thing I noticed was that the Capitol Police that were highlighted in that documentary were the same ones that were sitting before the select committee for January 6th. A little too coincidental, if you ask me.
I've got one here.
Okay, I thought you said there was another one in the car.
There is, but this one's alright.
There's a lot of sites out there which you can pull up video for yourself. Don't take the word of some talking head on TV to decide if people are guilty or innocent. Don't look at a person's case and because they accepted a plea deal and pled guilty to some small misdemeanor, to take that as saying that they're actually guilty of being an enemy of the state, or a terrorist, or insurrectionist, or whatever hateful, racist, bigoted label that the media wants to put on them. I don't falter anybody for buckling under the weight of the federal government. They're losing their homes, their kids, their families are being torn apart. Some of them have actually died in lockup. They're being tortured and neglected. It is an absolute travesty. So I can understand why somebody would buckle under that pressure, just hoping that it stops, hoping that it goes away. I've even heard stories of where people put up large sums of money, pretty much their life savings, to try to get proper counsel, proper representation through a lawyer. And then the lawyer doesn't do anything, takes the money and leaves, doesn't do anything for them. So now they're completely destitute, without any money to get a proper defense. And the lawyer that said they would help them, stab them in the back. That is disgusting, in my opinion. All of this is disgusting. We're supposed to trust those that say they'll represent us to be non-biased, to be fair. Justice is blind. She carries a scale because it's supposed to be measured and calculated. Equal justice. When you got the person that says they'll stand in your defense, takes your money and runs. I do trust the justice system. I know there's some good ones in there. There's some good folks that are still fighting the good fight, being honest. And I appreciate them very much. I apparently got a text. So, thank you to all of you law enforcement officers, legal counsel, justices, judges, magistrates, constitutional sheriffs, FBI agents, any person involved in maintaining justice, law, and order in our country. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Fight the good fight to hold even those within your own departments accountable. Make sure they honor their oath. Make sure they are there for we, the people, and not they themselves or their financial backing. Because we are at a sad time in our nation when singing the national anthem is considered a form of protest. They are trying to strip our country of any modicum of what we would consider American values. They attacked religion, and now they are attacking patriotism, our God-given rights. People need to stop thinking that the government gives us permission to have those rights. We give them permission to sit in the chairs that they sit in. And our voice has power to remove them. Because if it didn't, they wouldn't try to silence us. This is psychological warfare, an information warfare, a battle for the minds and hearts. Because they know that we, the people, at any time can say we no longer consent, and they can no longer govern us. So speak truth. Stop being afraid to say you love your country. We started this campaign to bring awareness to our January 6th political prisoners. They stand unified, even though they're behind bars. So we stand in solidarity with them, unified with one voice, to sing the national anthem with them. I'm a J6 defendant. I am terrified of the full weight of the federal government on my shoulders, especially because I know that the federal government has like a 97% prosecution rate. How does the saying go? Any prosecutor worth his salt can indict a ham sandwich. Well, I ain't no turkey, for sure. But I understand that there is a possibility that I could be going to prison for a very long time because I asked those in power for truth and transparency to honor their oath. But you know what? I can still smile. I still am able to right now to see my family, and I cherish every moment. But it lingers in the back of my mind that this might be ending soon. But though he slay me, I will trust in the name of the Lord, because God wins. God has me. Peter and Paul went to prison. So did many others. And I'm nowhere near as I'm nothing compared to them. My Lord and Savior was tried, falsely convicted, put to death. But he rose again. And that gives me hope. So no matter what happens, I see this as my Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego moment. For I will trust in the name of the Lord, that even if I'm put away for life, I will stand by my convictions of my righteous indignation to speak up, to speak truth. So anybody involved in these cases, have faith. Anybody involved with the judicial system, the justice system, law enforcement, keep that righteous indignation. Stand firm and stand tall. Thank you for your service. And to all you corrupt cucks out there, you know who you are. You might get away with it today, but you'll have to answer to him tomorrow. There's always time to change things and make it right. Speak out. You tell us all the time, see something, say something. That goes both ways. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Be brave. Do what's right. Sing for freedom. Post it anywhere you want. Just use the hashtag Sing for Freedom. Let our J6ers know you stand in solidarity with them and that you're not going to just let this country fall apart.